The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born on the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal, in the famous year of the elephant, 570 CE. His birth itself was a miracle in a land covered with darkness. At that time, the Arabs were drowning in ignorance. They worshipped idols made of stone, buried their daughters alive, and were divided into endless tribal wars. It was in such an environment that God chose to send his final messenger. Muhammad's father, Abdullah, had already passed away before his son was born, and when he was only 6 years old, his mother Amina also died, leaving him an orphan. As a child, he was first cared for by his nurse Halimah in the desert, then by his grandfather Abdul-Muttalib, and later by his uncle Abu Talib, who protected him with great love and care. In his youth, Muhammad traveled with Abu Talib in trading caravans. On one such journey to Syria, a Christian monk named Bahira looked at the young boy and saw clear signs of prophethood upon him. Another important event of his early years was his participation in the Hilf al-Fudul, a noble pact established in Mecca to defend the rights of the weak and the oppressed. Because of his honesty and trustworthiness, Muhammad became famous with the title Al-Amin, the trustworthy one. Everyone in Mecca trusted him with their wealth and their secrets. These qualities deeply impressed Khadijah, a wealthy merchant woman of Quraysh. She first employed him in her trade caravans. Then later she proposed marriage to him. Their marriage was filled with love and respect and was blessed with children. The sons died in childhood, but among the daughters, Fatima, peace be upon her, would become the most honored and beloved. Muhammad, pbuh, was always a man of reflection. He rejected idol worship and the corruption of Meccan society. He would often retreat alone to the Cave of Hira, spending days and nights in silence, prayer, and contemplation of the Creator. When he reached the age of 40, the moment of destiny arrived. In the Cave of Hira, the angel Gabriel descended to him with the first revelation of the Quran. The opening verses of Surah Al-Alaq, "Read in the name of your Lord who created," thus began his mission as the final prophet of God. The very first to believe in him were his beloved wife Khadijah and his young cousin, Ali ibn Abi Talib, peace be upon him. They were followed by Abu Bakr, Zayd ibn Haritha, and others. For 3 years, the prophet invited people quietly, in secret. Then God commanded him to call openly. The Quraysh resisted fiercely. They mocked him, persecuted his followers, and tried to silence his message. Some Muslims were forced to migrate to Abyssinia. Quraysh even placed a harsh boycott on the Prophet's clan, Banu Hashim, cutting them off from food and trade. Men, women, and children suffered hunger in the valley of Abu Talib. After the boycott ended, 2 of the Prophet's greatest supporters passed away, Khadijah and Abu Talib. That year became known as the Year of Sorrow. Yet the Prophet never gave up. He traveled to Taif, seeking new supporters, but was rejected and mistreated. Soon after, people from Yathrib, later called Medina, accepted Islam and pledged allegiance to him. When the Quraysh plotted to kill him, he secretly left Mecca. On that night, Ali ibn Abi Talib slept in his bed, risking his life for him. This marked the beginning of the Hijrah, the migration to Medina, a turning point not only in his life, but in the history of Islam. In Medina, the Prophet established a new community built on faith and justice. He united the emigrants, Muhajirun, and the helpers, Ansar, in bonds of brotherhood, and made treaties with the Jews to live in peace together. But conflicts soon followed. In the Battle of Badr, 2 the Muslims, though outnumbered, won a decisive victory. In the Battle of Uhud, 3 they suffered defeat, and Hamza, the Prophet's beloved uncle, was martyred. In the Battle of the Trench, 5 the Quraysh and their allies besieged Medina. Following Salman al-Farisi's advice, a trench was dug around the city, and the enemy's attack failed. Later, battles with Jewish tribes such as Banu Nadir and Banu Qurayza also took place. In the 6th year after Hijrah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah was signed with Quraysh. In the 7th year, Khaybar was conquered. Around this time, the Prophet also sent letters to rulers and emperors across the region, inviting them to embrace Islam. In the 8th year, Mecca was peacefully conquered. The Prophet declared a general amnesty, forgiving even his fiercest enemies, and he cleansed the Kaaba of its idols, restoring it to the worship of the one God. Soon after came the Battle of Hunayn and the long expedition to Tabuk. In the 10th year, known as the Year of Delegations, tribe after tribe came to Medina to accept Islam. After the farewell pilgrimage at Ghadir Khumm, the Prophet raised the hand of Ali, pbuh, and declared him the Mawla, the guardian and leader of the believers after him. Finally, in the 11th year of Hijrah, at the age of 63, the Prophet fell ill. On the 28th of Safar, or according to some reports, the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal, he departed this world. His blessed body was washed and buried by Ali, pbuh, and members of his family in his own home in Medina, which later became part of the Prophet's mosque. If you love this dive into the past, hit that like button, subscribe for more epic histories.